Welcome back to the French Tech Funding Wire podcast. I'm Chris O'Brien.
And I'm Helen O'Reilly-Durand. We've got a solid week to unpack. 15 companies raised just under 131 million euros, and Deeptech is dominating. More than 100 million euros of this week's total went to Deeptech and industrial innovation. But before we dive into our big story, let's talk retail, because France Digital and FDJ United Ventures just dropped a fascinating report.
Right, they've mapped nearly 400 French retail tech startups. First time anyone's done this comprehensively, and the timing was perfect, coinciding with Black Friday and the Tech for Retail conference.
Some interesting numbers here. These 400 startups collectively generated over 1 billion euros in revenue in 2024, and 40% of them are already profitable. That's a pretty healthy ecosystem.
It really is. Once upon a time, France was famous for its retail innovation. These days, the business model is heavily B2B, mostly subscription and SaaS, scaling through big corporate clients who essentially become distribution engines across their store networks. The trend to watch, according to the report, is AI. Big shocker as it evolves from assistive tools to agentic systems, basically becoming the operating system of retail. That could mean AI shopping agents that co-decide purchases with consumers, and social commerce that collapses discovery and checkout into a single flow.
As for the challenges, they sound pretty familiar. International expansion and landing large corporate contracts remain the big hurdles.
All right, let's pivot to our main story. Zadient Technologies topped our fundraising tables this week. Helen, introduce us to Zadient.
Zadient Technologies is tackling something incredibly strategic: silicon carbide production. The company is based in Chambéry, right between Geneva and Grenoble. This week, the company raised 35 million euros in Series A funding. For listeners who aren't semiconductor experts, silicon carbide is basically a critical material for the energy transition. It's used in EV inverters and chargers, wind turbines, solar installations, battery storage, aerospace. Anywhere you need to convert or control power more efficiently than traditional silicon chips allow. Zadient has developed a process that produces silicon carbide at what they claim is ultra-high purity at significantly lower costs. They operate at the very beginning of the semiconductor value chain, making the source material that wafer and chip manufacturers need. The company's been quietly building since 2020, supported by Crystal Innov. That's the public-private R&D platform connected to Claude Bernard Lyon University. The round was led by Credit Mutuel Impact through their Environmental and Social Revolution Fund, alongside the European Innovation Council Fund. The EIC selected Zadient for their inaugural STEP Scale-Up program back in April, one of just 7 companies chosen from hundreds of applicants as a leader in critical technology sectors to support sovereignty. The money's going toward reconverting a facility in Bitterfeld, Germany, targeting 350 tons per year of silicon carbide powder production by 2026. They're also implementing a proprietary gas recycling system to eliminate polluting emissions and reduce energy consumption. That will also allow them to expand into new applications. They're exploring silicon carbide for augmented reality optics and AI chips. This isn't just about EVs and renewables. Zadient's founders are positioning themselves as a future supplier for European defense.
Thanks, Helen. All right, let's do a quick rundown of other notable deals. Afurin raised 23 million euros. That's the green tech producing bio-based organic acids as alternatives to petroleum-based ingredients.
Lexip, formerly Pixminds, pulled in 19.4 million euros to grow in gaming hardware. Water Horizon in Toulouse raised 18 million euros for their waste heat to cooling technology. And Deme Medical closed a 15 million euro Series B for their AI-powered digital biopsy devices in dermatology.
And we should mention the elephant in the room, tech funding news in the UK. Reported Pennylane may be closing a 200 million euro round, but we couldn't confirm it, so we're not counting it in this week's totals.
Okay, that's a wrap for this week. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on the French Tech Funding Wire.